Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to your daily read. This is going to be for Friday, November 25th, 2022. We're going to begin and pull from the Pure Magic Oracle deck and see what we get. But keep in mind, this is general for the day for all 12 signs. So simply take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Let's do some shuffling. Don't forget to hit that like button and do subscribe if you haven't done so already. For Friday, what do we have for Friday? For Friday, there's a sense of being a little bit confused throughout this day. You could probably just see that written all over my face. Although I am being very much affected by the bit of nervous energy in the air that's floating around here where I'm living at this time. But yeah, for whatever reason, for you individually, feeling a bit confused throughout this Friday. Clarification to come to be is what I just heard. Okay. We have Ocean's Muse coming out. And this one talks about water's wisdom, intuition, hermit's light, and discovery. So in the midst of whatever, in regards to rather whatever you're feeling a bit confused about, mulling over, feeling a bit perplexed once again, trust your intuition, okay? But in other ways, there's a huge push from Spirit to, and even for some you might feel this universal push to trust your intuition, this pull within, if you will, from the inner works of oneself. Interesting, because I do feel as if there's some importance lying ahead in regards to a big shift in your life or just a decision or two to make, in regards to even throughout this day as to who to and what to associate oneself with, right? Say you're working, say you're wrapped up with family or friends, regardless of how things have been in the previous days or how what you've seen or overheard. Trust your intuition in regards to how things are in the current moment, okay? For whatever reason that's coming out. I'm hearing just keep swimming. There's a push from Spirit to stay motivated when it comes to something you've been working, they're saying your ass off for, towards, when it comes to something you've been putting your efforts and resources towards, right? Putting your blood, sweat, and tears into. It's paying off more so these days, I feel the need to say it, but if not, either way, I feel as if it's really going to start to pay off moving forward. But there is a connection to water that takes a highlight throughout this day. And the number 7, as they're pushing me to add this up, and the number 34, spiritually, that's also coming into play. But yeah, there's a connection to water where you need to remember that soothes the soul, right? Being around water, wrapping oneself up in it, right? Taking a shower, a bath, going for a swim. With just washing your hands or your face, you know, that definitely cleanses one's energy, okay, for my empaths. But it could definitely feel refreshing, good, cleansing all the meanwhile, even if you're not an empath. But don't be surprised if it's a day, I'm getting a lot from this card, where you're going through a bit of discovery, right? A bit of a treasure hunt or simply just discovering things left and right. You could be doing some cleaning around the home or at work and discover something that you once lost or thought you didn't have anymore. Interesting. Or something you didn't know through an act of, okay, kindness is what I just heard, or through an act of just doing in general. Anyways, but there could be a sense of magical release throughout this day. I don't think this card has ever come out in a reading for me, but I'm being pushed to think of the golden money bag emoji. Okay, there's thoughts of money release and money gain throughout this day, to say the very least. Let's continue and pull from the Light Seers. Actually, no. Mainly because I've been using that one for the money and career reads. I try not to overuse a deck for too many reads in a row. But let's pull from the Mermaid deck to go with the water theme. I just heard you're like a jellyfish, you're electrifying. Interesting. For Friday to continue. For Friday, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, you could be thinking about or wrapped up with a new job, okay, a new investment. You could be working towards or thinking about the acquiring of a new investment or a new job. I just feel like, again, this coincides with the discovery sort of treasure hunt vibe I was just mentioning, right? If you look at the treasure chest. And I really do feel as if Spirit's saying, what you discover throughout this day, even what you learn throughout this day, right? Say you're going through training or somebody's teaching you something, or it feels like Spirit's giving you lessons left and right, synchronicities, messages, downloads. It's all purposeful, okay? Even if some of which goes out the other ear, even if you don't retain everything you're learning, or do you know what I'm saying? Even if it doesn't stick within your memory or in your mind, you'll regain what you need to when the time is right, okay? You may feel as if a lot of knowledge, a lot of clarity is being thrown at you, and so just take a deep breath. But I do feel as if there's a focus on your appearance, the finer things in life, even for some, as I'm drawn to those pearls. Why do I feel like I'm losing my breath throughout this reading? I feel like it has more to do with where I am, but there may be a focus on where you are and how that's affecting your energy, even your breathing pattern, right, or patterns. But I just feel like, okay, I just heard all the little fish in the sea as I was drawn to these fish. Okay, let's continue. You may feel like this King of Cups, right? Striving for levels of fulfillment, feeling a little bit emotional for whatever reason. May not be yours that you're trying to cope with or get rid of, right? Being empath. But this may be more so, once again, somebody around you. Don't fret, my friend. Things are about to work out for oneself in ways that you almost can't even imagine. Some of you who have predictive nature know, at least to an extent, but I just feel like things are going to work out. The number 4 is well coming into play. The number 4. And if you're familiar with that number, it definitely speaks strongly upon protection, okay? And the spiritual realm having your back. You're very protected. For Friday. We also have the 6 of Pentacles, a day of abundance, okay? And a reminder of how much abundance lies ahead. The gifting from the other realm is what I just heard. Now, I do feel like this could be in regards to money coming in. Again, I feel like abundance in the form of knowledge, clarification, better understanding, thinking about how grateful you are for an opportunity that lies ahead or that you just acquired once again. But it just feels like the gratitude for even the small moments throughout this day comes into play and helps you enjoy oneself more so. And it even potentially spreads as far as other people feeling grateful for the small moments or just feeling better about their day. Do you know what I mean? So I feel as if what's interesting is coming up for this card. There's the potential to have a positive effect on those you're wrapped up with at work or at home, even starting out and about or just associating with, and seeing them have a bit of a spark of happiness or just a perspective shift because of a small conversation with you or an interaction, right? Overseeing you, listening in. So keep in mind that you have that positive effect when you enjoy the small moments, okay? That gratitude being present. But anyways, so I do feel as if there's more than one level of abundance to be acquired, acknowledged, even thought about throughout this day, expected in the upcoming days, weeks, and months. But Spirit is saying, why do you feel, even if little bits of emotion come to be, whether it's yours or not, why do you feel good throughout this day? Why do you feel good throughout this Friday? Even if it ends on a bit of a sour note, interesting for some, because you just are feeling that things are about to work out. So trust that feeling. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. As I'm getting from these fairies, you're very much watched over, okay? So trust that things are moving in the right direction, and anything that's not meant to last won't last. The Hermit card. It may feel as if in certain moments, if not the majority of the day for some, even if you're wrapped up with people in one way, shape, or form, you kind of feel alone, or you feel very much different from those you're wrapped up with, okay? And they're saying individuality, that uniqueness is a beautiful thing. So don't forget that. You don't have to be the same as those you're wrapped up with. And this feels like common sense to be mentioning, but it's coming out for a reason. You don't have to be the same as those you're wrapped up with or even reflecting upon in order to get along with them or just end up blending into the, or not blending into the environment, potentially, to be a productive or just accurate part of a situation, right? And getting work, for example, you don't have to be like those you're working with, or even that work for you in order to successfully be a part of that team, right? Or even bond with them at times. The difference is the unique nature about you in comparison to other people. and so on can definitely even assist in the vibing of the situation, okay? The vibing of souls connecting. Does that make sense? In working well together. But I also did get a very leadership experienced vibe about that Hermit card, right? So your experience, your knowledge, your wisdom, natural leadership ability, standing out, shining in certain ways, even if there's small moments. People see that you just don't, that you have that leadership ability within you, okay? You know what you're doing, however that works for you. That could even be through a business. I just saw the King of Wands, a very passionate, confident way about you, but one that doesn't exude a vibe where you feel like you have to force it, right? And people sense that. When things are meant to grow, they'll grow. I mean, the Hermit card again. Absolutely beautiful. It's meant to come out. And I feel the need to say there's true appreciation of one's alone time throughout this day, even if it's not, they're saying even if it's rare, even if it's not truly common throughout this specific day. But there's thoughts of your Ten of Pentacles lifestyle and how that's meant to unravel, okay? As I catch my breath, bear with me. It just feels like certain factors can affect you throughout this day. But I also did hear, let the light shine down upon you, my friend. Let the light shine down upon you. As I do feel your spirituality is potentially going to take a highlight, your connection to the spiritual realm. And I love that we do have the Four of Swords here, again, talking about protection, okay? Okay, let the water protect you is now what I'm getting. But interestingly enough, I just feel like there is a highlight on, to an extent at certain points, on where you feel trapped, limited, or what's feeling a bit toxic at this time. You could be thinking back to toxic environments or one specific one in comparison to where you are, potentially to better your perspective, push from spirit. But with the Nine of Cups and the Lovers, I do feel as if there's some self-reflecting taking place, and even reflecting upon a situation in one's life, and that helps you recognize or remember that there's a wish fulfillment lying ahead. And I really do feel as if Spirit's saying you're on the right path, okay? Even if there are some important changes or one big one moving forward to either kind of shift your path a little bit or just clean things up for you, make things a bit healthier, you're on the right path, okay? And you shouldn't be questioning the choices you made up until this point, because I feel like it needs to be viewed as, or those choices need to be viewed as stepping stones, right, towards more for oneself. You almost wouldn't be able to acquire what's next for oneself if you didn't choose that in the past. Does that make sense? But I just feel like you're also exuding vibes throughout this day and even recently that's leaving people loving you, okay? You could have a moment or two throughout the day where you're thinking about physical appearance, yours, other people, attraction, love, right? Dating, sexual matters, stuff like that. Even if you say you're wrapped up with work or running your business or just doing your thing, however it works for you. It's a day of productivity. It's a day of, again, knowledge coming in more than one form. And I really do feel like through the huge reminder that you're protected and you're guided and things are unraveling the way they're meant to, you're needing to once again enjoy the small moments, acknowledge the abundance at hand at this time in more than one form, and recognize that things, again, are simply falling into place as they're meant to. All right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your Friday, and I'll definitely see you next time.